If I had to move to Lexington all over again, I would do it completely differently. And not because I don't love the city or how everything shook out for me, because I absolutely do, but honestly, it was pure luck that saved me from some seriously rookie mistakes that could have cost me a ton of time and a ton of money. If you're planning on moving here, first of all, it's not your fault if you're feeling overwhelmed because there are a ton of things to consider. But even then, just like any move, there are things that you can't plan for because you can only figure it out once you've lived there. But by then, it might be too late. So today, I am pulling back the curtain and I am sharing the 5 things that I would do differently if I was starting fresh right now. Number 5, I would research the area just as much as the house. Before moving to Lexington, my husband and I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we'd been crammed into a house that was way too small for way too long. Naturally, when it came time for us to move, we were fixated on the house itself. So it wasn't until we had been in Lexington for a few months that we realized how lucky we were to have landed in the perfect area for our lifestyle completely by accident. For instance, I love that if I forget to buy ketchup when grocery shopping, I have 2 different Krogers, a Whole Foods, and a Walmart all within 6 minutes of my house that I could swing by and pick it up. That matters to me. You can make changes to the house, but you can't change the location. And when thinking about moving, a lot of people naturally consider commute to work and schools for their kids, but that's about it. And what I've found is that it's really the littlest things in your day-to-day life that shape how you feel about where you live. Or the fact that my gym, which I am obsessed with, is only 3 minutes away. But if I woke up for some reason, decided I didn't want to go to that gym anymore, there are at least 4 other options within 8 minutes. So to me, those are the things that make up my day-to-day experience, and those things really add up. So if I were to do it all again, I would start by thinking about this lifestyle that I want to lead and then find the house that fits within the area that I can hit that lifestyle. And I know, you're like, but Shelby, I don't know what I don't know when it comes to the area. Fear not. This is literally my job to make sure that you don't make the mistake of ending up in a great house, but in the wrong area. And I help people just like you moving to Lexington every single day. So if you want to chat, hit me up. I would love to connect. Number 4 is to consider nearby cities. Just like I didn't thoroughly research the area when I decided to move here, I also didn't even consider anything outside of Lexington. But what I've come to find out is that Lexington is directly surrounded by some real gems, and depending on your lifestyle and what's important to you, they could be a better choice for you and your family. Not just because you can get a lot more house and land for your money just by stepping over that border, but also because Lexington has an additional 2.25% income tax on top of the 4% state income tax, plus a lovely little 0.5% school tax. If you're coming here for work and you work in Lexington, you're considering commuting as an option, it's helpful to know that Lexington's road design is laid out like a wagon wheel. So there's New Circle Road that forms the rim of the wheel, and then from the middle, the stokes that go out are major roads that lead out to those neighboring cities. This does make commuting and getting around super easy, but traffic can be a little dicey during rush hour. So talk to someone who lives here first about the reality of your proposed route. All to say, it is at least worth considering the cities surrounding our lovely little Lexington. And if you haven't dug into the pros and cons of moving to Lexington, you should. Click up here, dig into taxes, traffic. I go through all that in way more depth, so check it out. The third thing is research what's coming. Okay, did you know there's this thing called the Urban Service Boundary, USB, and it's literally a boundary around parts of Lexington that historically limited growth to protect farmland and overdevelopment. But there are changes in the work. More residential development is coming into areas that used to be off limits. And knowing this in advance, you can get ahead of the lines of progress. Awareness of what's going on can literally change your future life. Other things to be aware of is the public schools that are being built and renovated could bring in a new wave of what's the best schools in town. They could also change school districts, very important. Or Did you know that there's plans for road expansions all across Lexington? These are getting major upgrades that will widen the lanes and improve that traffic flow, improve the commute times. But what that also means is that we need to brace ourselves for construction zones in the meantime, right? So if I were to move to Lexington today, I would absolutely be picking my head up and looking at the horizon on what's to come to position myself in the most strategic way possible. If you know of anything that I didn't touch on, comment below to share the goods, guys. Don't hold back. Number 2 is buy a new or functionally new home. By this point, y'all know I love my house, but what I don't love is that it's a 90s home and had a 20-year-old roof when we bought it. Literally 1 year after closing, we were coughing up 10 grand for a new roof. And if you're planning on moving to Lexington and looking to buy, make sure to get the seller's property disclosure. This is something in Kentucky. Sellers have to fill out a property disclosure when they list their home. And you can check out all of the information that they provide on the age of the roof, the heating and cooling systems, water heater, windows, plumbing, electric, etc. And if you are buying a home that's got a lot of dated systems, that can be fine, but you need to plan and save accordingly. But overall, well-maintained or newer homes can super alleviate stress and save you big in the long run. And our number 1 thing is research local market norms. What do I mean? What I mean by this is that every city has its own way of doing things, its own set of expectations, unspoken rules. It would have been really helpful to know what was normal here for how much to offer in earnest money deposits. How long do we need for an inspection period? Who are the best home inspectors? Or what is normal when requesting seller concessions or seller paid repairs? In reality, what works in other markets might not work here. And if you assume it will, you could end up confused, overpaying, or seriously missing out. If you are planning on making a move and want to learn how Lexington really works, I'd love to chat with you. So hit me up, contact information in the description and probably on the screen somewhere. And there you have it, the 5 things that I would do differently if I were moving to Lexington today. And if you thought this video was helpful, like it below, maybe even subscribe, go crazy, you know. I'd love to hear what topics you want videos on in the future. So let me know in the comments. Up next. I don't know what's up next.